Hello, everyone. Hello. Let's see the participants. Who's here? Nelly. Hi, Nelly. Hi, Tyron. I don't know if maybe I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Olo. Hello, Olo. Hi, Jaden. Guys, welcome and thank you for joining today's lesson. All right, so in today's lesson, we are going to discuss the social implications of networks. Remember yesterday, Lionheart mentioned securities, the fees that one has to pay when using networks. Remember, she mentioned that for some security purposes, you need to pay a certain fee, or to be able to use a network or to be in a network, there's a fee that needs to be paid. All right. So today we are going to look at the social implications. Okay. All right, so by the end of this lesson, you should know the legal, ethical, and security aspects that you should take note of with regards to networks, right? So you will know about the viruses, licensing contracts. Lionheart mentioned a license contract yesterday. You will also know about the rules, the policies that you have to adhere to, and the ownership of electronic material. Okay, so I hope we are still together. All right. So there are legal, ethical, and security aspects that you should take note of with regards to networks. So this includes, like I've mentioned, the viruses, licensing contracts, adhering to the user policies, and ownership of an electronic material. Okay, so let's start with viruses. Viruses. So, how many of you have experienced a virus before? A virus, if you know what a virus is, virus in networks, what is a virus? And if you've ever experienced something like that, okay? So a virus, I'm going to make an example. There's a case study after this that I want you guys to read. I'll show you a case study that will give you more insight of what I mean by viruses in networks. Okay, so a virus, without a proper antivirus program installed, you will be prone to getting a virus. So if your computer or if your devices are not protected, they don't have antivirus programs, then you'll be prone to getting a virus. Like my laptop has an antivirus program. I think also your laptops or computers also have antivirus programs, sorry. All right, so we have, we also have Tino, is it Tino? Hello? Okay, so viruses can be transformed through flashes or through other computers in a network. So when computers are connected through a network, I've also mentioned this yesterday. So when computers are in a network. It's easy for them to share viruses, or it's easy for them to receive viruses from other computers. Right, so an antivirus program helps to protect your software, data, and PC from possible threats. Okay. Okay. Here is the case study. So there was a virus called I Love You. So the virus was experienced in the year 2000. I want you to read more about the virus. All right, so you read the case study in order for you to understand what was the I Love You virus, or what is the I Love You virus. Okay, so I'm gonna read. Viruses can be very dangerous. In 2000, there was a virus called the I Love You virus. Although by today's standards, it is pretty silly virus. It is still, it still is one of the most well-known and destructive viruses of all times. It even made the Guinness World Record for being the most virulent virus of all time. It overwrote both system and personal files and spread itself over and over again. So this virus was a worm that was downloaded by clicking on an email attached called I love you, or attachment called love letter for you. Okay, so they would send you something written love letter for you. So although people did not know the person sending the email, so people received this type of email from an unknown person or a stranger. Okay, so although people did not know the person sending the email or the fact that it made headlines around the world, people still clicked on it, activating the virus and attaching it to their emails. In the end, the two programmers who developed the virus were caught. Unfortunately, they were set free as there were no laws against writing a malware at that time. Okay, so the virus, the I Love You virus, was sent through an email. So they sent an attachment love letter for you. Obviously, you would open this. You would open just to see a love letter for me, right? So if you open this love letter for you attachment, then your device would become infected. Your device would have the virus. Okay, so now I want to ask you guys a simple question. Okay, the first question will you open an email sent to you from someone you don't know? Would you open an email sent to you from someone you don't know? So you don't know where this message or where this email is coming from. Would you open it? I'm waiting for responses. Would you open such an email? Nelly? Would you open? How will you know that something, an email, a website, etc., is dodgy? What would you do in such a case? I wouldn't open an email from someone who's unknown. I do not open those type of emails. I still get emails like that even now. But I'm not saying all those emails are viruses, no. but I'm just saying I don't open. If I see something I don't know, I'm not interested. I didn't apply for something, I'm not interested. Love letter, what I'm not gonna open. Right, will you know that something is dodgy? How will you know? How will you know that something is dodgy? It's from a stranger. It's from a stranger. So I wouldn't open that type of an email. Instead, I would delete. What can you do to ensure that you do not get a virus like that? What can you do? I have told you. What can you do? Let's see. Have a response. Out of curiosity, yes. Oh, you would open Nelly. Yeah. Yeah. But then me, I am so lazy. I just open those important emails. Not that I'm lazy, but I have a lot to do. So I would open those important emails or emails I regard as important. So Nelly's saying out of curiosity, she would. Olo? Olo? Jaden? Tino? Okay, so let's continue. All right, so for viruses, for you to prevent your devices from being or from having viruses, you should have antivirus programs to help protect your software, your data, and PC from possible threats. Now, all right. Now, the next one is licensing contracts. Licensing contracts. So an organization cannot just share software over a network. It must purchase a network license, like Lionheart. Remember, Lionheart mentioned something like this yesterday. She said, if you have a network, then you have to pay a fee. There's a fee for a network license, so you must pay. All right. So that's one of the implications. The first one was viruses. The second one is licensing contracts. So an organization, for example, schools that have networks or offices, they have to pay or they must purchase a network license. Otherwise, it is illegal. So a network license lets more than one user at a time to access the software on the server. So schools are paying, those schools that have servers, they are paying this network license fee. So they have this contract. Okay, so the second one is depending on the number of computers attached to the network. So it also depends on the number of computers that are attached to the network. So if you have maybe the network license fee will differ. Okay, so the network fee will differ. If I have maybe 20 computers connected to the same network, my price will differ from someone who has more than 20 computers. It differs. The fee is different. Organizations such as schools and businesses normally have an acceptable computer policy usage. Okay, so organizations such as schools and businesses normally have an acceptable computer usage policy in place. Okay, like one of the institutions that I went to, there was a policy. Number one, there were sites that you were not allowed to go to. So if you went to those sites, maybe, or you did something trying to hack or trying to access someone's information without them, without that person's permission. Let's say maybe you are trying to access someone's information or data on their device, maybe, or you are trying to access a porn site. So that was against the policy. Porn music was not allowed. There were sites where you couldn't download music. What else? Because I used to download music. I used to try to download music, but then it was not allowed. So organizations such as schools and businesses, they normally have an acceptable computer usage policy. So that is also one of the social implications. One, viruses. Two, the contracts. Now, the policies. So if a person breaks the rules, if you break the rules, it is regarded as a serious offense. You could get into a lot of trouble. So the institution that I went to used to take people to court just for something like this. Imagine. First, it was suspension. Sometimes it depends. It depends. All right, so people used to get suspended for breaking the rules, for going against the computer usage policy, especially the IT students, because they used to do unbelievable stuff. Yeah. All right, so let's move. Accessing data is not your own. Okay, accessing data that is not your own is regarded as a criminal offense, like I have already said. So if you are trying to access someone's data, that was regarded, or that is regarded as a criminal offense. So you should not change or access the data on the computer of another network user without getting his or her permission. So always try not to access someone's data without their permission. All right. Okay. One more thing, plagiarism. So plagiarism is when you illegally copy information from the internet or from any other published material and say that is your own unless you obtain permission to use it. One more thing that with regards to plagiarism on the internet, I've seen many YouTubers. At first, the song they used, those songs, at first people used to have songs for introduction, like maybe use Beyonce's song or just use any artist. Let me use the example of YouTube. So people like the YouTubers used to use music like for introduction or maybe background music. Maybe Beyonce's song that was that is still against the law. So that is plagiarism. If I have a YouTube channel and I use someone else's song or maybe someone else's information without their permission, then that is plagiarism. If I want to use Beyonce's song or Gabza's song, I need permission from Gabza. Obviously, permission you need to pay. They have to get something from it. So if you're using someone's music or someone's information without their permission, that's against the law, against the network law. All right. Now, I think for today, that was it. Okay, the legal, ethical, and security aspect with regards to networks. So we have learned about the viruses, licensing contracts, adhering to the user policies, and ownership of electronic material, like the YouTube example that I've used. Adhering to the user policies. The user policies, I've made an example of an institution. Also spoke about the licensing contracts, just like Lionheart's example, okay, and the viruses. Now, let me hear from you guys. What do you think? Have you ever encountered or let me say, have you ever went against a policy with regards to social, with network policies? Have you ever went against the policies? Maybe at school, have you ever used the school's Wi-Fi for something that is, or that was against it? Have you ever? With the ownership of electronic material, I know some of you are still practicing that. You are still stealing people's electronic material stuff. I don't. Anything, guys? Any question? Any question? Nelly? Olo? Jaden is always present, but I've never seen Jaden's message. Please say something, Jaden. And Tino. Okay, I think that's it for today. Since you guys don't have any questions, do not want to say something, I think that's it for today.